Welcome back to another Bossfight Studios review. In this review, we're going to be taking a look at Vitruvian H.A.C.K.S Series 2, Aiyana, Elven Archer from the Autumn Guard. She is 1/18 scale and comes in collector-friendly packaging. So let's go ahead and take a look at that packaging. Here on the left, we have the Vitruvian H.A.C.K.S Series 2 logo. If you don't know what H.A.C.K.S stands for, it's Highly Articulated Character Kit System. Here at the bottom, we have the Bossfight Studio logo, adult collectible for ages 15 and up. Half the card is some beautiful artwork. Looks fantastic. In the bottom, we have Aiyana nameplate, the Elven Archer Autumn Guard just below that. Here's the figure. Looks fantastic. There's not much to see on top or the bottom of the package or the side. But on the back, we do have a kind of like a file card for her. So I'll hold this here for about 5-6 seconds to give you guys a chance to pause and read if you're interested in more information about this character. Okay, moving on. On the middle to the right side of the card, we have There's No Limits. At the top, collect them all. There's 8 more offerings from Bossfight Studios. Down here, we do have some credits. People that work at Bossfight Studios, who's responsible for the beautiful artwork, the bio, and the packaging, and some of the figures. QR code, UPC, Bossfight Studio logo. So to remove this figure from its collector-friendly packaging, all you have to do is just kind of manipulate this plastic. It's very friendly, so you can just do that. Slide out your card. It's just a really nice cardstock. And there we have what it looks like. So just slide out the figure and accessories. Here's what she looks like in her clamshell. And always check on the back for a little baggie of additional accessories. So let's go ahead and take a look at this action figure. And here she is. This is a fantastic looking figure. Let's take a look at the head sculpt first. Those eyes are beautifully painted. We have brown eyebrows to match her brown hair. She has her tan lips. She has her elven ears. And then she has that really beautifully sculpted hair. On the back, she has 4 buttons. Eat your heart out, Princess Leia. And in the front, she does have two bangs, one on each side. Her garments look fantastically painted. The color of her shirt, she has a bunch of autumn leaves of various different colors. Superly well painted. Very nicely done. The bottom half of her shirt there is just like brown with a dry brushing of like a darker brown, maybe some black. Her waist skirt, she does have those larger autumn leaves. And it's a more of an autumn color. It's not really green because it's not really a spring color. It's more of a brownishes and reds. Then she has her leaves on her gauntlets, on her forearms. Looks great. And way down at the bottom, she does have more of those autumn leaves for her shin guards or shin wraps. Not sure what kind of guard or shield you're going to get out of a bunch of leaves and rope. Remember, the paint on here is insane. Look at the back of this figure. That's beautiful. Painted very nicely. Here we have a ring holding her shirt together. She does have a peg hole in her back. She does have peg holes in her feet for a stand. Looks fantastic. So let's go ahead and take a 360 look at this figure. It is such a nicely painted figure. It is beautiful. Really a lot of detail in this figure. Here in the back she has this little part you can stick a dagger through. Very nicely thought out. Very nice. So let's start taking a look at the figure's articulation. Her head does look down. We have a side to side. And then we have a 360 rotation all the way around. Her arms are on a ball joint. They will rotate all the way around. They will rotate up. Looks great. They will raise up. We have bendable elbows. Get you more than 90 degrees. That looks great. This one has more of a bend ratio than this arm does. We do have an ab crunch. She does look backwards like so. And then we have some side to side. And of course it rotates 360 if you desire, all the way around. But there's no point in doing it because it's there. She will sit very nicely for having that large waist skirt on. The piece goes between her legs and down the side. Splits are pretty good. So from Elven kicks, you get more forward than you do back because of the her backside. She has double jointed knees, so let's see what we got here. We got a 90 degree at the top end, and if we utilize the bottom joint, you get more than you're ever going to need. Both of her feet do pivot down. They pivot up a little bit, and they rotate all the way around the ball, if you so desire. Maybe for some flying kicks. Like so. Very nicely articulated. Very nicely painted. The materials feel great. They don't feel like they're going to break. It feels like it can actually survive some heavy play. Even though these are recommended for adult collectors, the plastic is, in my opinion, some of the best out there for playability and don't have to worry about breakage. Very nice. Okay, let's take a look at some of her accessories. First off, she has a bow. It's like a tan bow with a brown grip. There's no string, but there's notches here for you to add if you would like. That's cool. Very nicely sculpted. And here she is holding her bow. Looks great. So let's take a look at one of her arrows and see how well it matches. So inside her quiver, she has 3 arrows. We have gray here on the, well, it could be a tan. It is a cross between the two. Then we have a very light tan arrow with the brown feathers on the end. And you get 3 that comes inside of her quiver. See how well she holds those. Okay, here she is holding her arrow. They are just a little bit loose in her hands, as you can tell. But they do stay, both ends. But the initial shaft of the arrow is actually a small diameter than her hand. But if you guys haven't noticed, did we even do her hand articulation? Let's take a look at her hand articulation. The wrist, they're on a ball joint, rotate 360. And they both go down and up on both of the wrists. There is no in and out like this, they're just up and down. As you can see on this hand, it's the same thing. So rotate that, and then we got that hand articulation. So it's the same articulation on both hands. But you might have noticed both of her hands have this unique hand to where there's a gap between the first 2 fingers. You're probably wondering, what's that for? Well, let me show you. That's so she can hold her arrow. Like that. That's pretty wild, right? I haven't seen any articulation like that on any other figure. And then she can hold her arrow next to her bow. Very nice. I think I'm going to be adding some string to my figures. Just got to find the right string in a hobby store or maybe a craft store. Or you can turn it sideways and do one of the more dynamic poses with her. You can fine tune it if you like, but that's just giving you an idea on the possibility for poses and displays for your dioramas. Very nicely done. I do like those hands, how they did that. It's very creative. Alright, let's take a look at her quiver. Here's her quiver. Very cool. We have the browns all over, different shades, some black wash, black dry brushing. We'll come back to this in 1 second. So here she comes with 2 Elven daggers. They're all one color. Sculpted, really cool. I'm not a big fan of the daggers being painted one color. I want to see a 2-tone dagger at the minimum, like your handle and your dagger painted different colors. It really makes the knives or daggers really stand out. Even swords. Same principle for me. So you get 2 of those. And what's cool about coming back to this is not only that she can hold them, she can store them in the backpack and the quiver. Keep wanting to call it a backpack for some reason. So you see your modern military figures. Here. Just like that. And then you can stick all her arrows in here. So if you're one of those collectors, I love to store all the accessories on the figure. This is pretty much one of them. Minus the stand and the alternate hands, obviously, but you don't want to carry extra hands around in your quiver. That wouldn't make any sense. Take a look and see how that looks on her back. Okay, here's how that looks on her back. So you have to do is take out the arrows, stick them in the back, and you're good. So you have 3 in there right now. I believe she comes with some more of them in that baggie. We're going to be taking a look at it here shortly. But before we do that, let's take a look at her holding those daggers. So first up, you can see that you can store one of her daggers behind her back. And her waistband looks really good. And let's see how she holds them. And here she is holding her daggers. She can hold them upright or backwards, and they stay in her hand very well. They don't fall out. She's ready to fight some orcs. Alright, let's see what's in that little baggie. So in this little baggie, let's see what we got here. Get some tape on there, which is a pain. So we have some arrows, which is great. So we're going to get more arrows to put in our quiver. Yeah, so we have our stand. Bossfight Studios. Then we have 2 alternate hands. 2 more gripping hands. And then you can see we get 3 more of our arrows, which is fantastic. So with the 3 that we had in her initially came in her quiver, we have 3 more. So we have a total of 6. Now putting things inside the quiver, it has there's only so much space here at the bottom. So only something will fit all the way down, and the other ones kind of stop halfway down. But it gives you a very nice, not that part, very nice dynamic, different levels. You know, more of a dynamic look with all the different levels. You know, height of the arrows makes it look more realistic. I think so, at least. And then if we get our daggers, we stick those in there. And then we stick the other one. If she ever lets go of it, she doesn't want to give that dagger up. Trying to do that with one hand. She was really holding on to it. You put that right there. So we have a very nice back piece. I'm going to put that back on her. And that's how she looks, all geared up. All she has left is her 2 extra hands and her stand. But that looks great. And you can carry all her accessories with her. So let's take a comparison. Look at a comparison with the Aspen Archer. And here she is. You can see it's basically a repaint, I believe. But man, it looks fantastic. It's hard to hold on both these figures, so give me a second. Spin her around. It's a comparison of their quivers and arrows and daggers. Looks really awesome. I must say for some of these figures, it's really difficult to get their feet to fit those stands because of the articulation. When you try to push down, the feet go side to side, and it's like so thin. You're like, am I going to break it? But you don't. So Aspen came with an alternate head. So here is Aspen with that alternate head. So you have an entirely different female Elven warrior or archer. I am not sure, but I'm going to try if I'm going to be able to hold all three of them for a nice comparison. But we're going to try. There we go. So that's how those three female elves look. I love the different head sculpts. Really let you build your army of female elves. Looks great. I do have the review up for the Aspen figures, if you want to check out that, and some other reviews, so you might find something you like. So take a look at my playlist and all my videos. There's a lot of videos up. Aiyana here and Aspen, they retail for like $24.99, and they are relatively available now still, so shouldn't have a problem finding them. Check Bossfight Studios website if you're looking for any of them. I think they still have them for $24.99. Highly recommend them. Great paint, great plastic, great sculpt, great just on generally all around a well worth the price to add these amazing figures to your collection. I hope you guys enjoyed this review of Aiyana. If you did, please consider subscribing. I'd really appreciate it. And if you have already subscribed, thank you guys so much for your support. And I hope you guys find all your collectibles that you're looking for. It's kind of difficult anymore trying to find action figures in the stores. So good luck with that. So keep collecting, and we will see you in our next review.